Now, if you remember, we went over a few weeks ago, probably the first or second week that I was doing the Daily Tech News stream, we went over a few articles where people were using AI to generate fake resumes, fake LinkedIn profiles, and they were even jumping into video interviews and creating a fake digital avatar over their face to the point where the interviewers would ask something like, put your hand over your face like this, and the person who was interviewing would not do it because it would give away the fact that their face was AI generated. In part, this comes from North Korean IT workers. I've already covered this as well. And one of the things that they'll do is they'll take all the data leaks that I cover on the Daily Tech News stream here. For example, I think I've covered at least three different job hiring firms that stores a massive database of resumes and people who are on the job hunt, and these people will generate profiles based on real data and pretend to be real people with real experiences and kind of use AI to round out the edges. Then they will go and they will target firms in, for example, the US, but it could be anywhere, that have access to highly desirable data, and they will get hired. They'll work there for a few weeks, if not a few months. They will download all this data. They won't care if they get fired. And then they'll just use AI, and they'll have like a little team working in China or whatever. I'm not joking. I've covered all this before. We actually covered one article where some companies realized that the person that they hired is actually just a Chinese shop of multiple different programmers working together to have access to data that they like to use for scamming and other nefarious purposes. And the company literally went, I'm not joking, this was a direct quote, they ship so much. Do we really need to fire them? I wish I was kidding. They're evolving. They're going from Pikachu to Raichu. North Korean IT workers take on female personas. Expand to Europe and Japan. The North Korean hacker group Nickel Tapestry has found new ways to adapt its IT worker scams, including impersonating female applicants and expanding its operations to target companies in Europe and Asia, new research finds. As U.S. employers become more adept at recognizing when fake applicants apply for remote IT jobs, mainly to steal trade secrets and make money for the North Korean government, the nation's state threat actors are simply stepping up their game in response. Now, just to keep things funny and interesting, there is a way to shoo away North Korean fakers. Stay tuned. The answer will shock you. That's according to a new blog by the Sophos Counter-Threat Unit research team released on Thursday. Not only has there been an increase in European and Japanese companies being targeted, but they're adapting their personas to evade detection. They've also expanded into industries beyond tech. This has been specifically noted in relation to the ongoing North Korean IT worker fraud campaign known as WageMole, which was discovered by security researchers at Unit 42 in 2023, but has been operating since 2018. The expansion of their tactics in targeted countries is being attributed to increased awareness. So what they do is they take stolen or falsified U.S. identities, they impersonate Vietnamese, Japanese, and Singaporean professionals, and then they essentially just start submitting their resumes to get jobs. Normally, they would go get jobs for web and blockchain jobs that cover, as I say, a wide range of industries. But they're expanding into cybersecurity, and they're using female personas to bid for jobs. Now, why? Why is that? Why do you think it is that they are using female personas, in particular expanding into cybersecurity? Can anybody take a guess? They're quite smart. They're quite smart. Does anybody know why they might be changing to female personas and then targeting cybersecurity? Any guess at all? Because US nerds love Korean anime. Yeah. Because men are stupid, will do anything for a female voice. Yeah, there are a lot of degenerate men, yes. Because of this. Right here, it's because of this. The ISC2 cybersecurity workforce study confirms that women hold just 22% of cybersecurity roles. Echoing data from LinkedIn and the Global Cybersecurity Forum. The study shows regional variations, with Italy reporting 26.7 representation, Germany at 15, the figure's 20% in the US. Now, here's the reason why these numbers don't seem that high, but they are actually high in this niche. So the representation of women in just generally the programming industry as a whole is not quite as high as the representation of women in cybersecurity. That's why. And so then they use AI to create their fake accounts to make themselves come across like they are, you know, a female, whatever it is, you know, whatever profile that they have, etc. We've gone over this hundreds of times, maybe not hundreds, but a lot. Now, this I found particularly interesting because this story doesn't end here. Other shady practices, once they get a job, include the use of mouse jigglers. That sounds like somebody really needs to get their head checked. That sounds like maybe they need help. A mouse jiggler needs help. VPN software, workarounds to circumvent default system font and language settings, and KVM over IP, remote keyboard video and mouse control for remote access, with several impacted organizations reporting the use of long Zoom calls for screen sharing, some more than 8 hours long. New Pokemon mouse jiggler, yeah. Last fall, nickel tapestry workers were further observed not only stealing the victim company's trade secrets, but also attempting to extort the companies for profit. So imagine that your North Korean employee gets hired, and they're just like, they're a banger of a worker. Their output is really, really high. They constantly hit all their goals. You want to fire them, but everyone's like, well, but look at their performance though. Can we really afford to fire them? And then you finally man up, you sack up and you fire them. And then they come back and go, great, I want my severance package. And also I have all your data, pay me or else. Oh, and by the way, my name is Mouse Jiggler too. Yeah. So of course you got to be careful. Now, I did cover this. Let's just do a little bit of a funny here. I did cover this on a previous stream. Does anybody know how you can scare off, or how you can at least detect that someone is it's like a North Korean faker straight out the gate? You just have to ask one question. Does anybody know what the question is? The longer time viewers will know, but I'm curious if anybody else knows. You just have to ask one question. It's a really simple question, and you will immediately be able to out if somebody is North Korean or not, and they're trying to fake their way into your company. And no, it's not, do you jiggle mouse for fun at night? No. In a dark alley? No, it's not. How fat is Kim Jong-un? That's all you got to ask. They will not answer. You're welcome.